Good morning, class. Today we're going to be starting to study for tests and exams. We are going to learn the best way to prepare to study for tests and exams and how we can get the best out of everything when we have exams coming up. The first thing you need to do is ask your teacher these 6 questions. When is the test or exam? What will be on the test or exam? What types of questions will be on the tests or exams? How many questions? Is there a review date? When is it? And what will I need during the test or exam? The first question is, when is the test or exam? Now, you write the date and a time down in your agenda, but that doesn't mean you're done there. Once you have understood the announcement of the test or exam, you must decide or at least start to think about if you will need to use any of your accommodations. Will you need extra time for this test? Will you need a computer? Will you need a different room? Make sure you tell your GLE teacher as well as your classroom teacher so your accommodations can be arranged. All of this needs to start the day the test is announced. The next thing you need to ask is, what will the test or exam cover? Now, of course, the teacher can't give you exact questions from the test in most cases. You can ask for a ballpark idea of what units the test will cover, what parts of the textbooks will be used in the exam, what specific handouts or notes will be included on the test or exam, and you will be required to write all of this information down in your agenda. This way, when you're studying, you'll have a plan on what to put emphasis on in your study plan. The next thing you'll need to know is what kind of questions will be on the test or exam. Now, this is helpful because you can gauge how long each of the questions will take you. You can also gauge how much time you need to spend on each question in terms of marks. Will the test have fill-in-the-blank questions, which wouldn't take too long, multiple choice questions, which sometimes you need a little more time for, true and false questions, which wouldn't need as much time as short answer questions, and short answer questions, which would need less time than essay questions. Now, essay questions would probably be the longest type of question. Then you ask your teacher if there's any other types of questions on the test. For example, will there be diagrams? Will there be charts? Will there be a story I have to read? This is all important information to know. How many questions will be on the test? This will help you understand how long to spend on each part of the test and whether or not you need extra time. This information will also help you see how much each question is worth. Now, the reason it's important to know how many questions and what type of questions will be on the test is because fill-in-the-blank questions would take less time than short answer questions. Essay questions would take more time than all of these questions put together. So, if you know how many questions there will be and what type of questions there will be, you will have a much better idea of how long this exam will take you. Now, this is because if you ask the teacher how many questions and she says 2, you need to know which questions they are. Because if it's 2 multiple choice questions, chances are you'll be okay in terms of time. If it's 2 essay questions, you want to think about the extra time. The next thing to ask your teacher is, will there be a review? Which day is the review on? And it is important to know this before you start studying because you want to have at least started your studying before the review date. This way, if you have any questions or things that are missing from your notes, you can get those things and clarify them on the review date. Lastly, what materials will I need? Find out if you need a cheat sheet, a calculator, a pen or pencil, or a computer, or anything else. This way, you'll have lots of time to prepare your cheat sheet or get any materials you don't already have. This is important because that way you're not wasting time borrowing stuff on the day of the test. Now, once you've asked your teacher all of these things, you are ready to start studying for your test. The next video lesson we will be posting will be on how to create the best study plan for your exam preparation. Thank you for listening, class. Please hand in your note page so it can be initialed by Mrs. Deere to show that you've watched and understood this video.